Good morning, guys. So yesterday I was absolutely battered, and I was a bit emotional, and just everything was just difficult. Maybe it's just exhaustion. Anyway, I've rested. I feel a bit better. Sinus is still there, but no headache yet. Touch wood. So this is the hotel I stayed in last night. I packed all my bags. I've split this stuff in two. I've split this stuff in two, so I'm going to leave this here. I'm going to take that with me. But first of all, I'm going to go to the Dungan Mosque. Now, apparently this mosque is very interesting because it's a Chinese style mosque. We'll talk more about it when we get there. It's literally 10 minutes from here by walk. So I'm going to head off there. I'll see you at the mosque. Wow, I'm using the Google Maps here. It's 9 minutes. And honestly, it's it's so nice to be able to just walk. There's another fancy hotel here, Suncore Hotel it's called. It's not looks very nice actually. And anyway, it's so peaceful, so quiet. You see the houses, they're so different. They've got these sliding roofs, but they look like tin almost everywhere. I don't know if it's tin, correct me if I'm wrong. It's like some kind of metal roof. Even here, this is a English school, looks like. And actually, to us they may look similar, but one of them is Russian and one of them is Kyrgyz language. So they're not the same. There's something called Khan. So this area, is supposed to be very interesting. So the Khan that you see, it's really, really interesting because here, I think about 100 years ago, more than 100 years ago, sort of early 20th century, Muslims from China were being persecuted. So a lot of them sought refuge in this sort of area. So that's what so those Chinese population that live here, who left China and came here, they're called Dungan. And in fact, that's the mosque we're going to. It's called Dungan Mosque. And so they have their own influence. They bring their food. They have Dungan cuisine over here. So, and this place is also very mixed because also back in the day, when this was part of Soviet Union, the government, the Russian government or Soviet government sent a lot of people from different parts of USSR, whether it's Kazakh, from what is now Russia, to develop the area. So that's why there's another village called Jirgilan, which lots of people visit. And Jirgilan used to be a coal mining village. But since USSR split up, that's no longer the case. And they've, with the help of USAID, they've tried to develop it into a tourist destination. If I'm lucky enough and have time, I will visit there, but I'm not sure yet. Time is too short. I'm so disappointed that my trip is so short, honestly. Yeah. Nice to see people respect the traffic rules because it's not like people are just going, even though it's early in the morning. See, this is another big shopping complex. I don't know why over here, Japanese food is so popular. I don't know if there's some history or, it's just random or what. If there's Japanese settlers here. Let's see another Japanese restaurant. They have a cinema as well. If anyone's watched Kyrgyz film, let me know. I've never watched one, but yeah. At the entrance of the mall, it looks so colorful and so different. So basically, because it's the Chinese people who came here, you see the structure already is slightly different than typical mosque. It's got the Chinese influence, and yeah, they have some instruction. Kindly 50 som for tourists visiting distillery for maintenance. That's fine, that's okay. So let's go inside. So there are some headscarves and stuff. I guess it's for us to borrow. And everywhere here as well, you can now just scan the QR code to pay. Pretty sure it's for that. It's either to pay or for information. And see. And again, they have some kind of donation box, and you see it's so interesting. It looks so similar to you find it in the Buddhist temples and Hindu temples as well for donation. It's exactly that style. So there's a little bit of history over here. So basically in the early 20th century, about 1905, that sort of period, a lot of the Muslims in China were being persecuted. So they fled China and came to this part of Kyrgyzstan, and they sort of started laying roots over here to continue to practice their faith. That's why, even though this is a mosque based on the Islamic religion, still they've got the Chinese influence, the underlay of the Chinese. So you can see that here in the mosque, the pagoda style, as opposed to the mosques which normally have the domes and the minarets. So that's very, very interesting. Guys, a little bit more about the Dungan culture. The language as well is different. So basically their language has a mixture of a Chinese base, and it also has Turkish, Arabic and Persian words in their language. So I think these people, the culture of the Dungan people, kind of matches a little bit with the Ughyur people of China. And regionally, it's literally, if you crossed from Kyrgyzstan to China, you would be going into Ughyur region of China from here. So naturally, there would be the overlap of culture. So very, very interesting place, very calm, very beautiful. So that was a nice short and sweet visit to the mosque. Definitely very interesting and a lovely way to start the day. Guys, the weather here, I don't know about July and August, but it really feels very much like in Europe. In Europe, pretty much most of the year, except in July, August, maybe June, you need a little bit of a jumper. It's exactly like that here. So it's not free. I mean, in the cities, obviously, remember, Songkul was freezing. But even here in Bishkek, over here, you need a little something. So yeah, it's just to be aware. There's actually very little information. There is information about Kyrgyzstan, but not as much. It's still not like widely visited, like say Nepal or other mountainous countries where people visit a lot. So I guess that's why everything is a surprise to me. I did do a little bit of research, but also sometimes I feel like when I over research, the joy of it or the excitement of it reduces. I feel like I've seen it already or something. So anyway, so that was the end of the mosque visit, and going to go back now, take my little backpack, leave the big backpack at the hotel, and attempt 15 kilometers to Altan Asharan. It's like a meadow or something. So yesterday that bus, the minivan that I took from Bishkek to Karakol, the road was so bad for the most part, and honestly my bag is in a funny state, but I'll try. Let's see what happens.